In Morgantown, West Virginia tonight, 15th ranked Baylor Bears visiting the 14th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. This crowd ready to get after it tonight. Great to have you with us, along with former Oklahoma State guard Brendan Manzer. I'm Mark Healy. You have a West Virginia team tonight coming off one of their great wins, one for the first time ever in Ames on Tuesday night.
Well, it is a tough place to go win in Ames, Iowa, let alone against an explosive ball club like the Cyclones have with that veteran team. But it was Devin Williams down the stretch, the face-up jumper from the corner, and then doing what he does best, attacking the offensive glass. Those are 4 of his 17 points and 1 of his 18 boards. But the big one, with about 1:05 left, 6-man Jason Page with the 23 points on the night, and Huggy Bear the victory in Ames, Iowa.
And a 5-point win in Ames. But tonight the big matchup is going to be down low between Gathers and Devin Williams.
2 of the most immovable big men in the entire country. 8.5 offensive rebounds a game between these 2 guys. And it's so important for Baylor and the success that they have had to negate the offensive rebounding of West Virginia, and Rico Gathers can give them that here tonight.
Well, winning at Hilton Coliseum is difficult, like Allen Fieldhouse, but winning here has been very difficult, except for Baylor. They're 3-0 all-time here in Morgantown.
Well, they've done it because they have guys that can handle the basketball outside their guard group. They've had bigs like a Royce O'Neal in the past, Torian Prince, who will play as a senior here tonight. They can have vision over the top of those traps, advance the ball, and with the way Baylor shares it, they can attack on the back end and take care of some potential opportunities.
It is a sellout tonight at the WVU Coliseum in Morgantown. Baylor, West Virginia, and the opening tip is straight ahead. Got a lot of folks wearing blue and gold. Not a seat to be found. This has been a sellout for quite a while. Had great weather here today in the mid to upper 40s. So no excuse for the fans. The snow's just about all melted, and they are ready to rock here at the WVU Coliseum for the Mountaineers and Bears tonight. Let's take a look. The starting lineups. Got a Baylor team that basically uses the same starters in every game. But watch the Gathers Devin Williams matchup, as we mentioned up top. That'll be a big one tonight. Again, for West Virginia, no Jonathan Holton. This is game 3 of his indefinite suspension for a violation of team rules. Set to go. Great to have you with us. West Virginia wearing the old gold uniforms, Baylor in the dark uniforms, and it's the Bears with the first possession.
As you mentioned, Mark, Baylor has been terrific in this building the last 3 years. And one of the things that they've been able to do is play fast, yet still make good decisions. When you play West Virginia, make no mistake, you have to play quick. And to win, you have to play better than they do fast.
Devin Williams had a career-high 18 rebounds in Ames the other night. He's already got one tonight. Here's a rebound for Gathers. So already we've heard from Williams and Gathers on the rebounding side.
Rico Gathers comes in this game, the last 3 ball games, playing terrific for Scott Drew. 18 points, 9 rebounds over the last 3.
Issa Ahmad called for the foul, his first. To look at Scott Drew in his 13th season. He and Bill Self, the deans of the head coaches in the Big 12. And what a job he has done at Baylor. Program that's had 10 20-plus win seasons in 110 years of basketball, and 7 of those have come under Scott Drew.
And he has literally built it, Mark, from the ground up. And this is now a legitimate big-time program in terms of across the country.
Freeman with the dribble. Defended by Myers. Gets in the lane. Had it knocked free, but into the hands of Gathers, who shoots a 13-footer, rebounded by Williams.
And one of the things about West Virginia is that you think so much about their full court pressure, but this is a team that is very solid in the half court defensively as well. You saw it on that last possession.
Adrian faces up. Shot clock's at 6. Miles feeding Adrian. He shoots the 12-footer off the glass. And there's our first bucket of the night.
Great patience right there from West Virginia. And when you play against Baylor in that zone, they're going to force you to make shots. Adrian, the bucket right there.
Tying it up at 2 is Wainwright. Averaging 5 points per game coming in.
West Baylor team, so much balance. They move the ball, they share it great. #1 in the country in assists.
Adrian doubled, stumbled, uses a dribble. Out for Carter, a 3. Rebounded off the floor by Carter, then it was tied up. Nope, they're going to call a reach-in foul. You see Scott Drew wanted the held ball, but the foul is called against Medford.
Nathan Adrian gets his 4th straight start. Good post-entry pass, just a face-up right there. Rico Gathers, a good defender, but a below-the-rim defender, and Adrian good over the top.
Ahmad missed one from in tight. Out comes Torian Prince. Feeds Gathers, turns and scores right over Williams. That looked too easy.
It was an easy post-entry pass. No pressure on Prince right there in terms of pressuring the passer. Williams conceding behind him. Hey, look for that a bunch at both ends. Touches in the interior to both Gathers for Baylor and Devin Williams for West Virginia.
Gathers had 20 points in the loss to Texas earlier in the week. They fell in Waco 67-59. Medford, high pass as he completely airmails Al Freeman. The first Baylor turnover. Bob Huggins in his 9th season now here in Morgantown. 34th overall season as a head coach. He's 783 and 316 lifetime. So he is 10th all-time in wins among head coaches.
Well, it's interesting, talking to him about this team. He loves this group. Doesn't feel like they do anything necessarily great. But the one thing that this ball club does is they flat out compete and get after. They're down 15 Tuesday night early in the game to Iowa State, settled down and end up getting the win.
Adrian, a long 3 that's missed, a long outlet pass. Prince off the glass scores.
Basket by Prince.
That guy right there, key every night for Baylor, but in particularly tonight, Mark, because of his versatility. 6'8". You saw how well he handled it right there in traffic and had the body control to get the bucket to go.
Baylor missed their first 3 shots of the game. They've now hit 3 in a row. Here's the baseline jumper, high, rainbow from Page. Tip, Adrian, a 3rd opportunity goes.
With the absence of Jonathan Holton the last 2 games, now this one the 3rd, Nathan Adrian has stepped up. And right there makes another play attacking the offensive glass.
3, Prince, a little long, and Adrian rebound. Carter gives it up, underneath, back to Carter. He will lay it in. Wainwright needs help. Hands off to Medford. Medford cuts back, gets the defender in the air, but missed the shot. Prince trying to feed Gathers, but Williams reads that and gets the steal. Page.
Well, that's what West Virginia does, and as I alluded to earlier, it's not just in the full court with their pressure. Their half-court defense, they put a lot of pressure on the basketball, and they put you in a little bit of a frenzy.
Wainwright answers a little nifty behind the back dribble and a bucket that ends a 6-0 run for the Mountaineers, and it's tied at 8.
And Wainwright quietly doing nice things for Baylor this year. Just does his job, takes what the defense gives. A couple early buckets for him.
From the corner, Dexter Miles Jr.
You and I talked to Bob Huggins both last night and today, and we asked him the biggest key for his team, and he said, we got to make shots. West Virginia doing that right now.
Freeman going one-on-one with Carter, laying that in to pull Baylor within 1.
What Baylor has is multiple skilled ball handlers, not just in the backcourt.
Avery couldn't finish the reverse, and it's out of bounds to Baylor. 1-3 so far in this game, a big one from the left corner.
Well, Miles is a streaky shooter on a positive streak to start the game. West Virginia up 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and the all-new Fiat 500X crossover.
Off and running in Morgantown. West Virginia with the 1-point lead over Baylor. All the other action in the Big 12 is now final as #1 Oklahoma falls on the road in Manhattan to K-State 80-69. So West Virginia, if they were to win here tonight, would be alone in first place atop the Big 12. Baylor wanting to say something about that. If they were to win, suddenly you've got a huge 5-team logjam atop the standings.
That is a traffic jam, and this is a 6-race horse race, I should say right now. It's amazing, Mark, this league. And even those teams that are in the bottom half of the league, and Oklahoma State, who beat Kansas earlier, K-State, obviously their big win today. Tech, TCU, those are tough places to go win. And you cannot afford to bring your A game, particularly on the road, no matter who you are. You have the opportunity to get beat.
Lon Kruger's had a tough time winning back at his alma mater in recent years. There's the drive. Jake Lindsey, the freshman from Salt Lake City.
And you'll see Lindsey quite a bit more today. He's only played 16 minutes in the last 3 games. But because of his ball handling, his size at 6'4", to have vision over traps. Look for Scott Drew to get him a lot more time here tonight.
Got Macon back in the game. His nice pass to Page, who's fouled. But look at this drive by Lindsey.
Yeah, he's a cerebral guy. Very intelligent basketball player. Continued to drive. No rotation over as he hit the paint with that left hand. Freshman that Scott Drew is really excited about. And he's in a situation, Mark, where he can play behind a Lester Medford, Al Freeman, those guys, and not have a lot of pressure on him to perform at a early age.
72% foul shooter. Page knocks down the first. Jay Sean with a game-high 23 points Tuesday at Iowa State in their win. 10 for 17 from the field in just 23 minutes.
And he has been unbelievable. I mean, he's an instant offense off the bench. And Bob Huggins likes him there. He likes he and Tariq Phillips off the bench. Said doesn't matter if they start. Those guys give him not only point production, but a lot of energy.
The trap of West Virginia, but broken by Baylor. They get it to Wainwright, who's fouled by Elijah Macon. Well, no question, Brendan, that the 3 wins for Baylor here in Morgantown over the last 3 years means that they match up pretty well with this West Virginia press.
Well, they share it great first and foremost, and you cannot allow the ball to stick in your hands against that pressure because you're going to put yourself in a lot of tough situations. It moves, and they get to the right spots. And again, they've had guys with size. A Royce O'Neal the last couple years, Torian Prince, skilled bigs, if you will, at the 3, 4, and 5 position that can see over the top. And once you advance the ball against West Virginia, and you have numbers, you have to attack. You can't be passive. And Baylor has shown great success in the last couple years in being able to do that.
2-point lead, I should say, tied up after the free throw miss by Wainwright. There's a Tariq Phillip 3 from out front. And a foul on West Virginia. Devin Williams picks up his first. Well, Tuesday night on ESPN, it's a Big Ten SEC doubleheader at 7 Eastern. Denzel Valentine at 10th ranked Michigan State take on number 18 Purdue. Then at 9, how about this? Coach Cal will be mic'd up when 20th ranked Kentucky battles Georgia at Rupp Arena. Super Tuesday presented by Hotels.com. It also streams live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. The first foul on Devin Williams. King McClure. Tip. Motley, yes. Jonathan Motley.
Tip in by Motley.
And when the rotation goes over for West Virginia to help, that frees up Motley. And if you look at the lineup right now for Baylor, you got a 3-guard lineup with Lindsey, Medford, and McClure in there. And that moves Torian Prince to the 4. And that's important because that again gives you several guys, all 5, that can handle it against this pressure.
Run out to Prince, along with his 3. Then they're going to get Jake Lindsey. Goes over the back.
Baylor fouls on number 3.
Watch Baylor break this pressure. Here's the first trap as Adrian comes over. There's Lindsey. Nobody there. You advance the ball until somebody picks you up. And then he advances it with the pass ahead of those defenders. And you attack until that rotation comes over. The rotation was late, and Motley's there to clean it up.
Carter thinking about the deep 3, but had Medford in his face. Grab there by Medford.
Foul is called to number 11.
That's number 2 on Lester Medford. So he is the first player on either side to 2 fouls, and he'll take a seat.
25.
It's going to bring Al Freeman back into the game. You know, significant. Medford who came in leading their team 157 assists to just 46 turnovers.
That is huge to say the least, because he's your point guard. His speed helps him get easy baskets, and he's hard to pressure because of that speed. And not only a guy that can distribute, but he can make shots if necessary. He has ability to score, and so he keeps defenses honest. It'll be interesting to see how Baylor manages the latter part of this first half with him on the bench.
Jumper goes down for Page. 8 minutes gone in Morgantown. Baylor and West Virginia tied at 15.
And the difference between Page this season and last is he is more than a guy that's just looking to shoot that 3-point shot.
Adrian and Carter trying to trap Lindsey there, and West Virginia will pick up the foul. Under 12 timeout in Morgantown. Knotted up at 15. 4 straight wins for Baylor in this series against West Virginia. They beat West Virginia 3 times last year, all 3 by double digits. They won here, they won in Waco, and they won in Kansas City in the Big 12 tournament over the Mountaineers.
You know, it's about matchups, and we've touched on why Baylor has had success. Mark, the formula is pretty simple. Difficult to do, but simple in theory against West Virginia. You got to minimize live ball turnovers where they can take to the other end and score, and you got to hang with them on the boards. And right now you look at Baylor, it's a 9-8 advantage on boards, and they're 7 of 14 from the floor with just 2 turnovers through the first 8.5 minutes.
Prince gets by Adrian, missed the shot off the glass though. And the rebound for Devin Williams, his 3rd. Had 6 ties, 5 lead changes already. Baylor's led by as many as 4. West Virginia's largest lead has been 3. 3 from the left corner. Page tipped, stumbling, with the rebound collected by Jake Lindsey.
Well, Lindsey playing with a lot of poise here so far.
And the freshman giving it up through a fastball to Motley, who's able to save it, gets it back, but was out of bounds. 3rd turnover committed by Baylor.
Good look right there. Motley just unaware of where he was on the floor. But again, you see Baylor attacking the pressure, taking what West Virginia gives. And if you have the numbers, you got to get that spacing in those broken floor situations and try to see if you can get something out of it.
Gathers back in for Baylor.
When you play this zone of Baylor, you've got to get the ball flat along the baseline. Short corner, true corner.
And that leaves Williams there for the jam. Thanks for the pass from Page.
Now, voila. You've got Page. They've been working him along that baseline. Right there, the short corner. And then you get the low man to commit. And the dive from Williams. That's a perfectly executed play.
Prince passing the bounce pass to Gathers. We didn't think it was intended for him.
Here it is again. And you get ball movement. Boom, right there. And as Prince and Gathers converge, Williams just dives to the basket. That's an easy one. And then, Mark, when West Virginia makes shots, it allows them to dictate tempo by getting that press set up. It's not just about scoring points. It's about reestablishing that pressure once the shot goes down.
The numbers for Williams Tuesday at Iowa State, the 18 rebounds, a career high for him. Right now, West Virginia shooting 41%. Hurrying on to that. They're now 8 of 18 from the field.
And you're getting lots of movement also out on the perimeter from West Virginia against the zone. Prince
Didn't have numbers, misses the driving lane, and then commits the foul.
Watch this right here, Mark. And West Virginia starting to grasp the momentum. It's just a weak side flash to the high post area from the opposite wing by Phillip right there. And it's really important that Baylor's weak side defenders communicate that he is making that flash. Goes right to the open area, a window, if you will. And right now, the last couple possessions, West Virginia doing a great job of attacking this zone defense.
Phillip for Page. Good ball movement, and then the bump by Al Freeman. First on Freeman.
So you're getting touches inside. You've seen a touch at the high post, and then you have crisp ball movement. Gets that defense to shift. And with the athleticism on the perimeter for West Virginia, you get that defense to shift a little bit, those gaps open, and then you can attack off the bounce.
Williams decides to take it off the glass, but too strong. Rebound pulled down by Freeman. 19 points for West Virginia, 11 from their starters, already 8 points from their bench. Medford out for Freeman. Gathers, got position. We'll go to the line for two.
Boy, great spacing right here from Baylor. Floor spread, you isolate Gathers on the interior. And you go to a guy that's not only had great success in this winning streak against West Virginia, but as I said earlier, playing really well coming into this game.
Foul was on Tariq Phillip, his first. Gathers a 66% foul shooter. And this is the first.
Baxter Miles Jr. and Elijah Nathan.
You need to know Rico Gathers, he is a second cousin to the late Loyola Marymount star Hank Gathers, who passed away back in 1990. One of two for Gathers. And the lead for West Virginia is 3 with just over 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, one of the things Gathers has done, in addition to being more assertive, demanding the ball the last 3 games, he's been in the line 20 times. And so they are getting him those touches.
Loose but picked up by Adrian, and he finds Elijah Macon. Five-point lead, the largest of the game for the Mountaineers. Freeman crossing over, carried it, and that's the 5th Baylor turnover.
Nathan Adrian's done a great job of containing up front, using his size to get a cushion. And he's had a great drop step, Mark, in terms of protecting against a drive on Freeman.
See Mark Whitehead, our lead official, giving a look at Miles. Maybe a cut or something along the line, something in the mouth, give him a little drink. Perhaps got popped in the lip. Well, Baylor had 2 turnovers in their first 15 possessions tonight, but now, Brendan, they've turned it over 3 times in their last 5 possessions.
And that's what happens. It comes in bunches, and you're going to turn it over against West Virginia. And that's just a fact. But you have to minimize the runs that they have.
9 on the shot clock. Leaning in, Page can't get it to roll over the rim. Gathers got a hand on it, but it's run down by Macon. Deflected by Wainwright, out of bounds. Staying with West Virginia. There's a timeout. 7:58 to go in the first half. 21-16 West Virginia.
moving forward into March. For Baylor, it's Taurean Prince, king of the box score. He touches every stat that's on the box score and more because of the things he can do with his versatility defensively. In terms of Iowa State, you always have a chance to go win games in March with a point guard like Monte Morris. Another 8 assists, 0 turnovers in Stillwater today. And then how about the Texas Longhorns learning to play without Cam Ridley, I'd say. 7 of their last 8 they have won, led by Isaiah Taylor, including a big win here in Morgantown. But a lot of upside. You know, the thing is, Mark, all these teams got to continue to progress. You know, they have not hit their ceiling, in my opinion. And if you don't continue to get better in the latter half of conference play, you will not have that momentum going into postseason play in March.
Carter missed a 3, but gets his own rebound. West Virginia now 1 for 6 in three-point shooting. And Carter 0 for 2. Wainwright just stuck the big mid out and gets the steal. Up ahead for Lindsay. Freeman driving baseline. Kisses it in.
Basket by Freeman.
Sharing of the ball movement, and it's also the decision making. Prince hesitates, kicks the corner. There's Freeman, and then Freeman, who is an excellent three-point shooter at 40%, passing it up for a better shot. Just drives it to the rim. Good choices from Baylor.
That ended about a 5-minute drought for Baylor from the field. They get a steal. West Virginia turns it over for a third time, and a 3 from the corner for Wainwright. And just like that, this game is tied, and Wainwright 8 points. Timeout. West Virginia with 6:45 to play in the first half. Wainwright 8 points. He's hit all 3 of his field goal attempts and leads all scorers. Baylor with a little better job of breaking the press again.
Well, this is why they lead the country in assists. 20 a game. The ball doesn't stick. And then not delayed decisions or reactions. There's the ball being moved to the corner with Freeman. Shot's not there. Let's drive it. And then the last possession, before we went to timeout, Lindsay, a great kick in the corner to Wainwright.
Drive by Page. He has 8 points. Lindsay. Gathers got a little far underneath the bucket from a bad angle. The reach by Lindsay in the foul. And then Prince, a little bit late, just wanted to make sure that Phillip wasn't going to put some points up there. Crowd didn't like that. But Lindsay picks up his second foul.
You know, one of the challenges also among many against West Virginia is you see Devin Williams come back into the game. If you don't take advantage of opportunities, and as you said, Mark, Gathers pushed underneath the basket, tough angle to finish right there. If you do not finish and West Virginia cleans the glass, boom, they're off and running to the other end. And the end result is potential points on the board right here. So you have to be very good at executing those bunnies, not just to get points, but to keep West Virginia from getting the game re-sped up.
1-1 after the 7th Baylor team foul, and Prince with the rebound on the miss. Number 1, Oklahoma has lost tonight. Baylor and West Virginia, the last game going in the Big 12, and there's a drive and a score by Prince. Our 8th tie of this game. We're knotted up at 23.
Right there you saw why he's a pro. And bring it up the floor. Remember, he came to Baylor basically as a recruited 5-man. He's converted himself to a 3. And right there, he's playing point guard.
Williams over Gathers. Gathers picks up his first foul.
You know, outside of George Niang, Taurean Prince, the most versatile player in the Big 12. Right there, little shake move goes right around Carter. And with his length at 6'8", can easily attack the rim. The good thing, too, about him, it's not just offensively where his versatility comes into play. I mean, he can guard for stretches anybody from a 1 through 5. And it allows Scott Drew some options of where they put him on the zone and the times that they do play man-to-man.
Williams hits the free throw. Kind of lost in the fact of Williams' big night the other night in Ames. He had the 17 points. He was 7 of 7 from the foul line. Only had 2 personal fouls. And Bob Huggins said after the game, hey, if we can keep Devin Williams out of foul trouble, that adds a whole different element to our game.
27 career double-doubles, 10 this year. And the only thing that keeps him from getting a double-double every night, honestly, is whether he's in foul trouble or not. And if he's in foul trouble, he doesn't get his minutes.
A fun matchup tonight with Williams and Gathers. Going at one another here tonight in Morgantown. Almost stolen by Page. A little grab there by Watkins. First one on Brandon Watkins, just off the bench for West Virginia. Sixteenth foul against West Virginia. Prince a 3. Phillip brings it ahead after the rebound. Phillip bumps into the floor, back out. Williams faced up on Gathers, but it's back out. Page launches the 3.
The teams are shooting 42% from 3 in Big 12 play against Baylor. And the biggest reason is, Mark, they have not done a great job of getting back to shooters. And Page right there, who's been playing unbelievable on the offensive end. Enough space to shoot. You got to be there on the catch.
Prince with the miss. Up ahead, Page. Page ran into him, and that's an offensive foul. There to take the charge, Medford, who's playing with 2 fouls. That's a huge call right there.
That's a bang-bang play. Let's take another look. Now, Medford really quick in moving his feet. That's great defensive play. And playing with fire right there, because Scott Drew elected to go back to him pretty quickly after he got that second foul. And that tells you how important he feels like Lester Medford is. And he's got to be careful.
And Medford picked up his second foul at about the 12-20 mark. But back in, that could have easily been his 3rd foul, but didn't go that way. His entry pass for Gathers, trying to back down Williams. Too strong off the backboard, and then that looked unintentional. Watkins got tripped up. And it's out of bounds. It is going to stay with Baylor. Timeout, 3:40 to go in this first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by AutoZone. Hoods up, America. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hey, coming up on the Land Rover halftime report, number 1 goes down. The top-ranked Sooners upset in the Octagon of Doom. Andy Katz will join me to talk about that. And this, Notre Dame has come all the way back to take a lead on number 2 North Carolina. That one's over on ESPN. Coming up at the half, fellas.
Look forward to that, Chris. Oklahoma losing on the road for the 3rd time. Look how difficult it is to win on the road. Though West Virginia 4-1 on the road. You know, Texas has actually won at West Virginia and at Baylor. Unbeaten at home along with KU and OU. Baylor lost their conference opener, which was on the road at Kansas, but since then they've won 3 in a row. If they were to win tonight, it'd be the first time they've won 4 straight road games since they've joined the Big 12.
You see West Virginia, terrific start on the road at 4-1, but they still have to go to Kansas Tuesday night And they also have trips later on at Texas and against Baylor on the final weekend of regular Big 12 season play.
Page from 17. Tip by Williams. Devin Williams now with 6 points.
Yeah, no gathers in there right now. And Williams using his strength and size to take advantage on that offensive board.
Lean in by McClure, who is fouled. We'll step to the line.
Yeah, Williams, he gets 4 of these a game. Offensive rebounds. Watch him right there. Nobody puts a body. And you see Motley go find Watkins, but Prince found himself outside of Williams. He's there to make good.
Page just picked up a second foul. He's the first Mountaineer to 2 fouls. Baylor has Medford with 2. Lindsey now on the bench with 2 fouls. First free throw missed by McClure, a 70% foul shooter.
Scott Drew elected to play at Medford heavy minutes this second half with those 2 fouls. And obviously, I promise you, they reminded him in that media timeout, hey, get out of this half with 2, and you can always get a foul back. But one of the luxuries Baylor has, playing against the deepest team in the league in West Virginia, is they go 9 deep. And 9 deep in terms of guys that play quality minutes.
1 of 2 for McClure. Baylor now 3 of 6 from the line tonight. And with just over 3 minutes to go in the first half in Morgantown, West Virginia with the ball and the 4-point lead. Again, a win for West Virginia. They're all alone atop the Big 12. A win by Baylor. There's a 5-way logjam atop the conference. Skipped to Miles. Quick pass. A little push from behind on Watkins, who then turns it over. Medford driving, stripped from behind by Carter. Out of bounds, staying with Baylor.
Yeah, I like what West Virginia has tried to do this first half in working inside out against Baylor's zone. But in that last possession, very little crisp ball movement, very little bodies cutting through. That was an easy possession for Baylor to have to defend.
Prince 4 of 11 from the field. He's missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts tonight. He's going to put up a long 2 off the back rim. Williams with his 5th rebound here in the first half. Carter. Miles.
Well, good things have happened when West Virginia has gotten the ball flat. Flat along that baseline, whether it's been the short corner. We've seen Jason Page work that short corner quite a bit. And right there, they find Miles.
Second 3 of the game for Miles. Prince answering with a 2 in the lane. He's the first to double digits for Baylor at 10 points.
And that's a guy that understands time and momentum. West Virginia's 7-point lead starting to stretch this game out. And Prince knows he's got to go make a play and get his team settled back down, keep the crowd out of it.
7-point lead was West Virginia's largest of the night. Phillip bombs a 3. Banks it in. And now West Virginia, with just over a minute to go, has their largest lead of 8. Motley fouled underneath as Phillip came across with the help defense.
Well, I'm not exactly sure if this is what Phillip had envisioned, but nevertheless, goes down as a 3 in the box score. That was deep and quick. And Coach Huggins will take that. Tell you what, he loves this kid. He said when he recruited from junior college out of Independence, Kansas, you know, it wasn't anything that he did great. You know, he did everything well, but nothing great. But he said anytime we do drills or we split up 5-on-5 in practice, and whatever team Phillip is on, that team wins. He said there's just something to his demeanor, his toughness that guys gravitate to.
Baylor 3 of 7 from the foul line. Make it 4 of 8. For a team that's shot pretty well from the line this year, 73% overall, as Gathers comes in and Motley takes a seat. Under a minute to play in this first half in Morgantown.
West Virginia needed to make shots, Mark. 14 of 28 so far this first half. 50%. Promise you Coach Huggins will take that up to this point.
The lean in by Carter. Knocked down Medford. Shoots the three. Down by Prince. Trying to go behind his back, but Adrian there. And a foul on Prince. His second.
You have to be careful against West Virginia. If you don't have all 5 of their bodies in front of you, they are so good at sprinting back and recovering, and that's an easy one for Adrian. As Prince, a rare mistake, not understanding where all 5 defenders work.
1-1 for Adrian after the 19th foul against the Bears. Prince picks up his second foul. 29 seconds left in the half. Medford's been playing with 2 fouls since the 12:20 mark. Lindsey's out with 2 fouls. Page and Phillip each have 2 for West Virginia.
And Lester Medford has done a terrific job not picking up that third.
Well, this week, Big Monday has yet another ACC heavyweight battle. 19th ranked Louisville heads to Cameron Indoor Stadium and faces Grayson Allen and Duke. Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Adrian knocks them both down. Shot clock is off. Baylor can hold it for the final shot. They'll use a timeout or use it or lose it. They're first of the half.
30-second timeout.
Baylor facing a 9-point deficit, the largest of the night.
Well, that's what West Virginia does, Mark. If they don't get turnovers early, and Baylor handled it well early. There's 2 turnovers in the first part of this first half, but they wear on you. They grind on you. And even good veteran teams that handle it well, they're going to eventually have those run. They've had a couple mini runs here this first half, and that's how they've been able to separate themselves just a little bit over Scott Drew's ball club.
Baylor's turned it over 6 times here in the first half. They average about 12.5 turnovers a game. So really not basically on course for what they turn over each game.
No, and I think you take that in one half against West Virginia. It's just that they had 3 in a 5-possession stretch midway through this half, and that's what gets you.
They seem to come in bunches sometimes. 22 of their 29 points for Baylor in this half. Those come in the paint. Let's see what they set up. Medford going to have to do something with it. Prince is going to have to put it up, and time expires. Well, Medford picked up his dribble, and then things got all discombobulated.
Well, they ran the play late, and then Medford picks up his dribble. Nowhere for Prince to go, and a mistake, especially coming out of that timeout for Baylor.
38-29, West Virginia leading Baylor here at the break in Morgantown. Now let's get you to Chris Hassel and Andy Katz for the Land Rover halftime report. Gentlemen.
All right, Mark, Brendan, thank you very much. Let's get to it, and let's get to number 1 going down. Andy, the Octagon of Doom could be a scary place.
Yeah, I remember it was last year that K-State beat Kansas. They had a storm, an epic storm. That was a very dangerous storm. Let's see if they did something similar, if they can pull this off.
Well, Wesley Iwundu was certainly good. Jordan Woodard was not. You won't see him in this highlight, Andy, because he did not score at all. 0 points for Oklahoma. This is a big shot here. Dean Wade, 17 off the bench, and then tempers.
Yeah, Isaiah Cousins, really a meltdown here, getting a technical. You know, technically you can make the argument this game was not over at that juncture.
7 points, a minute 5 left. That's not.
Look what happened a week ago Saturday. It was Isaiah Cousins using Buddy Hield as a decoy, and he makes the biggest shot of the season for himself. Composed in that situation, not so much here.
And that was pretty much it. Buddy Hield did score 23, but Oklahoma not good from three-point range, 6 of 24. Bruce Weber and company get it done.
Well, I think the big thing we talked about, everyone be 1% better. We didn't have to make it was only a 10-point game, and we didn't play very good. Obviously, our crowd really helped. These kids deserve it so much. We've had so many things happen. We've had so many close games, and they stuck with it. I got to give our guys all the credit. They came and played. Wesley taking his game to another level. It's great for them. And Wednesday night beating some against Baylor.
And they were 2-7 in Big 12 play coming into that one. Andy Katz, Chris Hassel. The Big 12 is a crazy conference. If West Virginia can win, and they're up by 9 at half right here on ESPN2, they will be all alone in first place. But we are just now getting to the halfway point.
Yeah, what's interesting here with Oklahoma is a couple quick things. First of all, Lon Kruger, the head coach of the Sooners, told me that he thinks they can do more things than make threes, but in this instance, they really struggled to make threes, and they lost. They had 14 in that game last Saturday against LSU. They had 6 in this game, so it's still an Achilles heel for them. What do they do if they can't make threes? But Kruger and Bill Self of Kansas both told me they thought at a minimum it was going to be 4 losses for a team to win the Big 12. That's the 3rd loss for Oklahoma. So they expected to sort of take on a little bit of water here and lose games like this one.
West Virginia a chance to really take care of business and really take control of the Big 12. They would be all alone at the top. But if Baylor comes back, we've got a 5-way tie at the top of the Big 12. Fun. So number 1 goes down. How about number 2? ACC play. North Carolina lost earlier in the week to Louisville. They were great in the first half. Marcus Page hit 4 threes in the first.
Yeah, it was a week ago we talked about this, how he got out of his slump against Boston College. They need him to make threes if they're going to compete for the national championship.
Second half, though, it's been all Notre Dame starters. Just 2 points off the bench, but every starter's in double figures. This is the only points of the second half so far for Marcus Page. Notre Dame, down by as many as 15, has come all the way back over on ESPN.
Yeah, they've been a very erratic team. They won at Duke and obviously looking very good in this comeback against Carolina.
Finish of that one coming up on ESPN. We could have a new number 1. Might it be Villanova?
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond.
Release the Hounds. 9-point lead for West Virginia at the half is their largest lead of the night. A West Virginia win. They're alone in first place. A Baylor win. And we have a 5-way logjam atop the Big 12. Great you could join us on this Saturday night along with Brendan Manzer. I'm Mark Neely. When we talk with Bob Huggins, it sounds oversimplistic, but he says, hey guys, if we make shots, we'll be okay. They made shots in the first half.
Well, you know they're going to turn you over. You know they're going to pound you on the offensive glass. But when they make shots, it takes this team really to another level. And they've been able to use Jason Page offensively. You see him hiding along the short corner right there amongst the trees. You know he can knock down the 3. And then now they've got to converge on him. And here's a dive to the basket from Devin Williams. So now you have things rolling. And sometimes they help your percentages. Get a little luck. Fake shot from Phillip right there. But they're 4-10 from three-point range. They've shot 48% as a team from the floor. And Coach Huggins, I tell you what, he'll take that every half he can get.
Jason Page off the bench for West Virginia, leading all scorers with 11 points. Torian Prince leads Baylor with 10. And West Virginia has the ball to begin the second half in Morgantown. And Baylor has won 3 consecutive years here in Morgantown. They've never lost in this building. Williams.
Williams from Javon Carter.
And West Virginia picking up where they left off in the first half. And they had a good mixture of those touches inside, short corner, good ball movement, and then the ability to drive it right there like you saw Carter do in the last possession.
Freeman giving a look at Gathers. A 3 from Medford. On offensive rebound for Prince. Baylor 1 of 5 in three-point shooting. The only made three has come from Wainwright. Medford behind the back, got it and won.
Well, how great a year has Lester Medford had. Converted two-guard to the point after the departure last year of senior Kenny Cherry. And the question was, what will Scott Drew do now at the point guard? But just like he's done for several years, Mark, he's replenished that spot not only in a serviceable way, but in a high-level way at the Division I level.
He completes the three-point play. His first points of the night. He only attempted one shot in the first half, had 2 fouls. But he did play 15 minutes in the first half, but no assist, 1 turnover in the first half.
I don't think it's an accident that you saw him pull the three and then drive it right there. I'm sure they talked about that at halftime, getting him involved.
Adrian has 8 points with that lay-in. 10-point lead for the Mountaineers. Brought across by Freeman. He's on the run in the lane. It takes it right to the rim, but cannot finish. Long outlet, Miles.
Boy, those are tough. You've got to convert those. It was a great decision and an aggressive decision by Freeman. Nobody rotated over. That's a bunny you're not going to be able to get back.
Williams out high, defended by Freeman. Got Gathers on Ahmad underneath. There's a skip. 5 to shoot, and it's in the air from Carter.
What's a great X-pass across the zone from Adrian. It was right on the money. And at 6'9", great vision to see over the top.
West Virginia's hit their first 3 shots of the half. An answer from Baylor does not come from Freeman. Tipped by Prince. He keeps it alive for the Bears. Prince. Adrian earns his first foul.
We talk so much about Baylor and their ability to share it. Nice little high-low, if you will, from Williams to Adrian. Then Adrian, this is a nice job. It was right on the money. And then Wainwright, the poor closeout, and Carter not settling for the three, takes the dribble in and takes a higher percentage shot. West Virginia picking up where they left off in the first half.
Saw Baylor only has 3 assists on their now 13 made field goals. They have really been good in that department on the season. Coming in not so good tonight. Prince fighting. Short tip. Wainwright, a third try for Prince. The foul's going to go against West Virginia. Williams, his second.
And you see right there with this lead stretched to 12, you see Baylor pounding the glass. They've really had trouble getting anything going offensively. And again, we talk so much about the full court pressure of West Virginia, but this is a very good defense in the half court too.
So the foul came on the putback attempt by Gathers, which has put him at the line. 3 points in the first half for Gathers. He connects on both. Back to a 10-point game.
Baylor now, Mark, man-to-man. West Virginia's done a nice job against that zone, as we talked a lot about. So Scott Drew's switching things up on this possession.
Wainwright, his second.
And teams that don't play man a ton will not be able to stay in it for very long. So he's got to see if this can kind of change the momentum. Don't anticipate them to stick with it for too much longer.
That foul comes before the shot. Well, McClure, his first. That's on McClure. So Wainwright, Prince, and Medford each have 2 fouls for Baylor. Phillip, Williams, Carter, and Page each have 2 for West Virginia. Grab there, and Medford just picked up his third. So he's the first player on either side to 3 fouls.
Very intelligent basketball from West Virginia. Williams kind of taking his time at the high post, and then Phillip at 6'3", a very big size advantage on Medford. Now you got Medford on Williams.
Don't see Williams shoot a lot of long-range shots, and he was long with that one. Medford defended by the much bigger Ahmad. Tries to run by him, can't finish, but gathers a tip. Pulled down by Miles. Baylor's getting some looks at the rim here in the second half.
It's exactly what I was thinking, Mark. They haven't been able to convert when they've had offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities.
Baylor 1 of 8 from the field to start the second half. Williams. 10 points for Devin Williams. 12-point lead, the largest of the game for West Virginia. They try to trap Medford. Fights through it. Gets it to McClure. Drives to the bucket. That was well off the left side. And it's West Virginia ball.
Watch Ahmad with the pass right here. Williams finds Medford. Medford behind. There's no way in this world you can stop that. And Adrian, a nice job of sealing off Prince and negating the rotation. And right now, West Virginia executing very well on the offensive end. And they have Baylor pressing a little bit internally. And they're not converting second chance opportunities, not finishing shots when they have angles to the basket. And a little bit in a frenzy right now if you're a Baylor Bear.
Gathers on the bench for Baylor. Williams on the bench for West Virginia. Adrian doubled, off balance, short, taken right back by Page.
Boy, they just keep coming at you, don't they?
Baylor's on the ropes here. Still a lot of time, almost 16 minutes. Well, West Virginia on a run here. They've opened it up to 14 points.
Well, Page been scoring big time. 18 points a game in Big 12 conference play. But he also adds in a little defense to produce offense.
In 2007, the second-ranked UCLA boys made their
Play tied with Louisville at the top. Virginia just a half game back. Fellas?
And Chris, and North Carolina not the only team to lose twice this week. A&M loses today, so that's 2 losses in a handful of days for them. So 1, 2, and 8 all fall. How crazy is March going to be this year?
Be tougher than ever to know how to fill out a bracket.
West Virginia foul.
Baylor just 1 for 9 to start the second half. Page just picked up his third. So Phillip picked up his third right before the last timeout. So suddenly you have Page and Phillip each with 3 fouls for West Virginia. Mountaineers, though, have hit 5 of their first 7 shots from the field here in the second half and blown up what was a 9-point lead at the intermission. But was 14, now 13 with the free throws. The second one from McClure.
Well, the most equipped team in the Big 12 Conference to manage a foul situation would be West Virginia, as deep as they are. And got those 2 guys right there, Phillip and Page, who come off the bench and play starter minutes and produce in a big way. But plenty of bodies in the backcourt, plenty of depth for West Virginia.
After the McClure free throws, the lead is a dozen for West Virginia. Again, a win for the Mountaineers here tonight, and they are in sole possession of first place in the Big 12. A Baylor rally and Bears win. There's a 5-way tie for first in the conference. Bullet pass, Ahmad. Well, that ball was kind of in the air, and Ahmad was collecting it. Wainwright reached in and picked up the foul, his third.
And you see West Virginia, Baylor right there defensively, really extending their defense, trying to pressure a little bit. And find a way to get some stops. But it seems, there's another situation right there. Seems like they're finding every open window West Virginia is right now.
Shots. Got to wave that off. But Freeman picked up the foul. Bob Huggins wanted to know why that did not count for Adrian.
Tell you what, good hands in catching the basketball from West Virginia on short distance passes with a little oomph on them right there.
Freeman comes out. We have 11 combined fouls here through the first, not quite 5 minutes of the second half.
You didn't think a West Virginia game was going to flow freely, did you?
No, not for all 40 minutes. Carter. Wide open 3 Miles.
Miles Jr.
Excellent offense. Again, Baylor really extending the defense right there. A little more pressure. And how do you alleviate pressure? You get behind it. Gets behind it off the bounce right there. Frees open the 3.
3 left corner and an answer for King McClure.
McClure, a good-looking young freshman for Scott Drew. Really good last Saturday. He had 10 points in 13 minutes against Georgia in the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Now, this is the end of the floor. I know Baylor struggled to score, Mark, but this is the end of the floor that they have got to etch their way back into it. Getting defensive stops, one and dones like you have right here.
Wainwright comes crashing in. An offensive foul as Adrian took the charge. That's number 4 on Wainwright.
Offensive foul.
Well, you can see that coming from a mile away.
Number 7.
He was out of control barreling into that lane.
Yeah, Adrian read that early.
Back in for the Mountaineers.
Medford returns with 3 fouls. Wainwright on the bench with 4. Motley goes out. Gathers has come back in for Baylor. Tonight, Gathers 5 points on 1 of 6 shooting from the field with 4 rebounds. You mentioned that matchup, Gathers and Williams. Devin Williams, 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting with 5 rebounds and an assist.
And with Baylor struggling to score tonight outside of Prince, his 10 points, that hurts having Wainwright because he's played well. 8 points on 3 or 4 field goal attempts. Well, watch West Virginia. I mean, they know how to seal a guy inside.
Gonna have to put it up. Miles does so. Well off the right side. Well, the first time Miles has missed tonight, and that one he had to force up. McClure driving underneath. Kind of bailed out there. He wasn't going to do much where he was, but Ahmad with the personal foul.
Well, he had just hit the 3 earlier from the corner. So West Virginia advancing out there quickly to keep from that happening again. And good decision to drive it right there from McClure. And it's interesting with McClure, and I mentioned it against Georgia, when he gets rolling, he hits a shot, he'll score in bunches. And so watch him over the next couple possessions. And he'll try to continue to go make plays offensively.
Adrian's going to check in for Ahmad, who departs with 2 fouls. The 11-point lead for West Virginia. Just over 13 minutes to go here in Morgantown. In front of a capacity crowd in the WVU Coliseum. 10-point game. McClure has scored Baylor's last 7 points. And a silly one on Prince there. Punched that left arm in and picks up his 3rd.
Yeah, nice job of Miles. Baylor goes hot right there, trying to double team up front. Again, trying to create some opportunities of their own through their defense. Does a good job of getting out of the trap, getting to Adrian. Who, by the way, Adrian really playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, he's making good decisions, shooting the ball well, and really being the player I think Bob Huggins envisioned when they signed him a couple years ago.
Didn't shoot the ball real well last year, but was dealing with a wrist injury. In fact, I asked him before the game tonight. I said, hey, how's the wrist? They said, yeah, it's as good as it's going to get. So I don't know if it's ever going to get back to 100%, but his scoring has definitely gone up.
Yeah, and in the offseason, he had the surgery on the wrist. Tell you what, he's been good the last couple of games. 5 of 6 from 3 the last 3 games coming in. And really done a nice job, I think, on their full court pressure. You don't have Jonathan Holton, who's terrific on the ball, being over the ball in the press. And his energy really facilitates to the rest of the team. But while he's been out, Adrian's done a nice job at the front of the press.
And Holton out again tonight. His 3rd game is being suspended indefinitely for a violation of team rules. You call that foul on Adrian. Number 2.
11, Nate Adrian called for the first one, the second. Team foul number 7.
You saw the speed right there with the ball in his hands from Medford. And that's what he helps provide. You got to continue to put pressure on West Virginia once you advance the ball up the floor.
Both teams in the bonus with 13 minutes to go. The 1-1, the front end is hit by Lester Medford.
Well, Bob Huggins, Mark, he knows that Baylor, in the very least, has 1 or 2 runs in them this second half to try to come back and dip into this double-digit lead.
Both free throws take it back to a 10-point game. Carter giving a look for Williams. He has Adrian in the post defended by Gathers. Ahmad giving it up back to Carter.
And right now Bob Huggins has got Ahmad, Adrian, and Williams. He's using 3 big bodies right now to attack the zone.
That goes for Williams. Banged into Gathers. No whistle. And Williams with 14.
Well, Williams just does such a terrific job of using his size to create angles.
If you put a hand on a guy out at midcourt, they catch that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just a little tap.
By rule. Not much there.
No.
One hand, the ball.
Front end missed. Ahmad was open momentarily underneath. They missed him. Williams facing up. Has the size advantage on the floor. He gives it down low. Tough shot by Miles.
Well, that's great movement away from the ball by Miles. You know, so much emphasis because you had those big bodies basically in a triangle for West Virginia on the interior. They forget about Miles making a basket cut there along the baseline.
Gathers, passes out. That's going to go into the backcourt. That was not tipped by a West Virginia player, so it's over and back. And it's 8 turnovers aside now.
Well, typically it's the backcourt throwing it into Devin Williams. This time it's Williams returning the favor. Miles the cut along the baseline. The bucket up 14.
In the Big 12, and Baylor's really struggled from the field here in the second half, just 2 of 11. Their free throw shootings kind of kept them in this game, but West Virginia, how about that? 7 assists on their 8 made field goals and haven't turned it over in this half.
Yeah, a lot of good numbers right there, including what they've done to Baylor defensively. Baylor 2 of 11. You know, West Virginia will turn you over, but outside of K-State in conference play, they've turned the basketball over more than any other Big 12 team. But tonight, just 5 on the game. Bob Huggins is going to love that because they've talked a lot about ball security in their practices and pregame preparation today.
Loose ball. Miles getting it back for the Mountaineers. Just when it looked like Baylor was headed the other way. Now falls and is able to get the timeout. So a West Virginia timeout. It might be a little shaken up. Need some help getting up.
Proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball and the all-new Audi Q7.
the statue of Mountaineer great Jerry West outside the Coliseum here in Morgantown. Jerry West, big week for him. Thursday goes to the White House, the Golden State Warriors. Native West Virginian, East Bank High School was there 1952-56. He was the state of West Virginia's first high school player to score more than 900 points in a season, and he led East Bank to a state championship. Of course, in 1959, played in the NCAA title game with the Mountaineers when they lost by 1 to Cal, 71-70.
How great is that high school picture?
Awesome.
Great player.
Williamson gathers. Tough shot from Williams. Picked up off the court by Prince. Baylor down 14. Not quite midway through the second half. Gathers. Nice pass over the top. That was Ahmad who came over to get a piece of that shot on the way up.
What's great offense, but an even better recovery defensively on the rotation for West Virginia. And then another missed opportunity for Baylor at point-blank range.
Baylor 2 of 13 from the field in the second half, and not picked up a field goal in over 4 minutes. Long three from Miles, who's feeling it tonight. Fourth three of the game for Miles. The only one he missed. He had the fourth's up from long range with the shot clock expiring.
And I mentioned he's a streaky shooter. Came in tonight shooting just 26% from three-point range.
Medford,
he's on fire tonight.
Couldn't get that to go. And Miles is going to bring it up. What a night he's having. 14 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists. Ahmad. Long two. Devin Williams. A 9-0 run for West Virginia. Up 19. And the Coliseum's going crazy on a Saturday night.
West Virginia, you see right there, 9-0 run in the last 3:15. Here's part of the reason why. McClure does not get the closeout on Miles. I said he struggled shooting the three coming in the game, but you got to understand he's knocked them down here tonight feeling good about himself. And then Devin Williams, you leave him wide open there. Very good face-up shooter. And Mark, West Virginia has busted this thing open to 19, and Baylor has to come out of this timeout and start to make a move.
Glad you could join us tonight along with former Oklahoma State point guard Brendan Manzer on Mark Neely. A West Virginia win, and they are all alone in first place in the Big 12, and their fans are sensing that right now. Number 1 OU beaten earlier tonight by Kansas State, and it's opened the door.
A lot of buzz here today in Morgantown about this game. I think 3 of the last 4 Saturdays, West Virginia's been on the road. So an opportunity against an excellent opponent for these fans to come out, support a team that's playing at a high level.
Prince from 15 off the left side. Freeman looking to go back up. He's in a crowd. Tried to pass it back to Lindsey, but stepping in the way is Carter. Here comes Javon in the lane. Tied up. Possession arrow will give it to Baylor, and Carter a bit shaken up.
Jump ball. Possession going to Baylor.
Well, still just under 9 minutes to go here in Morgantown, but this is the final game on the slate today in the Big 12. West Virginia, Kansas, OU, Texas, Baylor, Iowa State are your top 6. And you got a West Virginia team that the win here tonight would be 8-2 and all alone in first.
And how big will Tuesday night be in Allen Fieldhouse?
Mammoth. 3. Missed by Prince. Baylor has to go play at Kansas State their next game, and of course they're coming off a win over the #1 Sooners.
Great win for Kansas State today. They shoot 52% from the floor against Oklahoma. And a team that at times labors to score. I say at times, they labor to score a lot. They score 80 points today.
Baylor foul goal number 3. Ben Jensen is third. Foul number 9.
Now this week, Big Monday is yet another ACC heavyweight battle. 19th ranked Louisville. That's the Cameron Indoor Stadium and faces Grayson Allen and Duke. Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN, and also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. 1-1 for the true freshman from Cleveland, Issa Ahmad. Baylor 2 of 17 from the field in the second half. West Virginia 10 of 15 from the floor. The block by Elijah Macon, kept though by Baylor. Maston, 3 from Medford. And Motley goes over the back.
Baylor foul goal number 5. Jonathan Motley.
West Virginia not getting complacent. Up 19, Mark. Continuing to get defensive stops. They smell blood right now.
Under 8 minutes to play at Morgantown. Time, though, for our second installment tonight of Brendan Manser's Big 12 Buyers Club. Let's take a look at this Mountaineer team as well as OU and Kansas, starting with the Mountaineers.
Well, they've shot 46% in the last 4 games coming in tonight. And if they continue to do that, that's going to make them that much more dangerous. 54% so far in this game. Then Oklahoma, I know they got beat in Manhattan today, but they are way more than Buddy Hield. Isaiah Cousins, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists today. Love that backcourt. And then don't forget about the Jayhawks. 11 straight Big 12 titles in the regular season. 1 are shared. They're 5-0 at home. And 3 of those victories have been over Baylor, Oklahoma, and Texas. And as we've talked about a couple different times tonight, this West Virginia team goes into Allen Fieldhouse 6 p.m. Central Tuesday night.
And with the win here tonight, would be alone in first place. Things headed in that direction at this juncture with 7:54 to play and a 19-point lead for the Mountaineers. And Williams going to the line to shoot 2. His first free throw miss tonight. He'd hit his first 4, and he was perfect in Ames the other night. 7 of 7 from the line, so it's his first free throw miss in a couple of games.
You know, I often think in a more traditional setting, more traditional offense, half-court oriented team, what would Devin Williams' numbers be like?
You wonder.
Yeah.
Motley scores the hook.
Basket by Motley.
Because you could throw it into him on the block every possession. But he can also face you up, do it at the high post and do it at the short corner. And he's a pretty good post passer, as we've seen multiple occasions here tonight.
Foul goal number 5. Jonathan Motley.
It goes on Motley, his second.
Jack Miles in the line for the Mountaineers. 2 shots.
You know, I sit here and I think about the log jam, Mark, those first 6 teams within striking distance of a Big 12 championship. And we have to remember, and Andy Katz talked about it at halftime. He's exactly right. You know, you're going to have bumps and bruises along the way, like an Oklahoma did today. Kansas won the Big 12 championship last year with a 13-5 record. 2 previous years, they were 14-4.
Well, if West Virginia wins this one tonight, they'll be off to an 8-2 start in conference play. And would be 10-1 here at home at the Coliseum. Their only loss came to Texas. Medford split a couple of defenders and floats that in. Still time, over 7 minutes to go. 7 points for Medford. They've all come here in the second half.
West Virginia has certainly outplayed Baylor tonight, but you're right. There's enough time to make a move, and if they are able to do that, it'll begin with Medford. He's got to continue to force the issue. They got to be a little quicker offensively. Nice little step through right here. I mean, he's quick. Boom. Gets you off balance. Has the angle on Miles right there. Remember, he's a converted two-guard to the point guard position, which is really remarkable.
Just picked up his 4th foul.
Miles shooting 2.
2 shots for Daxter Miles. Baylor is somehow able to come back here in the second half. The really interesting stat for Baylor this year, in the second half of games this season, if they have led at any point in the second half of a game, they have won that game. They are 17-0 this year when they have any type of lead in the second half. Now, they have not led in this game since early in the first half. They had an early 4-point lead. Their last lead was actually 15-13 at the 12:55 mark for the first half.
Yeah, they've been terrific at closing games, but West Virginia has not allowed them to have any control at any point, with the exception of very early in the first half.
TJ Maston with the bucket. Hadn't seen Maston until recently in this game. The 6'7" sophomore. So his first bucket there.
Yeah, tough game for him to get a lot of minutes in, because Baylor is probably best against West Virginia's pressure when Torian Prince is at the 4. So it's kind of hard to get Maston in, but they love him. I mean, he's very skilled at either the 4 or 5 position. And I think you'll see him next season as a junior make a big jump, a lot like you saw Torian Prince do, or has done throughout his career.
Prince tonight, 10 points, 5 of 16 from the field, 0 for 4 in 3-point shooting. 7 rebounds for Prince. There's a 1-and-1 for Freeman after the 19th foul against West Virginia. And Baylor's going to mount a comeback. Need to hit the front end there. 6 minutes to go. Driving down the lane. Carter a miss. Make it a second opportunity. Tied up, thrown to the ground is Carter by Maston. Fighting for that rebound. The Baylor players usher Maston away. The crowd reacting as Carter does slowly get to his feet.
Yeah, you'll see on the fall, he holds that left side above the hip. Now watch Maston in here off the make and miss. There's a little bit of a tie-up. And he just got his feet out from under him. There's nothing malicious about that right there. Officials will check it. He just got tangled up. Unfortunately, didn't have his base on the ground. Well, he hit hard right there, and you knew it as soon as he hit the floor.
Mark Whitehead, Patrick Adams, Keith Kimball, our crew, taking a look at this, and it didn't take them long. They saw, I think, what you saw as well, Brendan, that just kind of the way that Carter was not able to get his feet under him and went hard to the deck.
And I think Mark Whitehead bringing over Patrick Adams to, I would assume, to get confirmation of what he and Keith Kimball saw first.
Quick meeting with the officials. Mark Whitehead there in the middle. He's our lead official. Let's take another look. Now, Maston has the rebound, and then Carter's trying to take it away. And then he's on one leg, and that just looks to be just an unfortunate sequence, but nothing malicious from TJ Maston.
Yeah, so I'm curious what the discussion is about right now, Mark, because to me that's 1 or 2 looks, and let's move on.
Mark Whitehead in the middle. Mark Whitehead's going to bring over Bob Huggins and Scott Drew. Looks like they're going to call a dead ball foul on Maston. One of our officials, Patrick Adams, has come over to explain to Brendan. There's Sir Patrick say to Brendan, it's a little bit confusing, but here's what the situation is.
Patrick Adams comes up and explains, so we were incorrect. So there's going to be a foul on Javon Carter. So Maston will shoot free throws, but they're going to call a technical foul on Maston.
Really? Wow.
Say for excessively throwing Carter to the ground, which surprises me. So what'll happen, you have Maston at the line shooting the foul on Carter. And then you'll get the technicals from West Virginia, and then West Virginia will get the ball here at midcourt.
So that may be why Mark Whitehead initially brought Keith Kimball over, because perhaps Whitehead and Adams had a different point of view. And then to break that 1-1 tie, well, the best angle that we saw, it looked clear like it was just Carter got off balance.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you, this is about as good a crew as you can have.
Yes.
And so, you know, I would trust those guys, but I just, to be honest, I mean, you didn't either. I mean, didn't see much there.
No, it certainly looked and sounded bad when he hit the floor.
Yeah.
But it was just a case where he didn't have his feet under him, and he got slung down around that left leg of Maston. So it's West Virginia ball. They're up by 14, under 6 minutes to go.
We're going to Kansas, baby. We're going to Kansas. Fall Gallon, I'll be there. We're going to take out your mind.
And once again, Mark Whitehead, Patrick Adams making sure they have this ruled on correctly, because West Virginia's waiting to inbound.
Well, the most important part of this whole thing is that Javon Carter's okay. Just took a hard spill. Well, back to the game, Mark. I mean, this is the point right now. Baylor has to make a move. They've got to string a series of defensive stops together. And it's got to start right now.
After the technical on Maston. Deflected. Nice play by McCord at the other way. Lindsay converts.
Well, there's one. And you can only do it one possession at a time. West Virginia came out complacent on that offensive possession. Good job of Lindsay finishing right there.
That almost went into the backcourt. The lead was 19 for the Mountaineers. Now it's at 12. Miles has been red hot tonight with 4 threes and 16 points. Adrian a three.
Boy, a big shot right there as Baylor trying to grasp a little momentum. And see Baylor get the quick two. But what had happened is Williams makes a hard roll off the ball screen to the basket, sucks the defense in, and a terrific find by West Virginia to hit Nathan Adrian in the corner. And that's a big basket, because it's deflating to Baylor as they're trying to get back in there.
Miles leans in, just throws it up off the glass. Maston the rebound. Freeman leans in, scoop no. Adrian, the board for West Virginia. We'll come up on the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, a little too quick right there. West Virginia back set in their defensive alignment in the half court. Got to move the ball, open up those gaps, and then look to drive.
Here goes Carter. But Williams around and out and out of bounds to Baylor. Timeout with 3:41 to go.
Well, Baylor trying to make one last run, but Nathan Adrian maybe destroys their will a little bit. Shooting it great coming in, knocks down another three.
Of 19, though. Fred VanVleet in Wichita State trying to stay perfect in the MVC. Tip-off is 3 minutes away. It will tip off on ESPN News. And then, when this one's over, Fred VanVleet and company take over. Guys.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Wichita State's finally healthy again. They're playing real well. Here in Morgantown, 3.5 minutes to go. West Virginia looking to take over first place in the Big 12 to themselves. But a three from freshman King McClure. 10-point game.
Yeah, and a big shot right there. Gives them a quick lift right out of the timeout.
McClure with 11 points. The drive by Page. Tip. Motley gives it up. Here's Medford on the run with Maston. Lays it up, and here comes Baylor. 8-point game, 3 minutes to go.
And a great job of Medford letting the game come to him. He slows up, Mark, just a touch, and that allowed Maston to catch up to the play on that right wing.
15-4 run for Baylor over the last 4 minutes. Make it a 3-possession game. West Virginia was up by as many as 19 with 9.5 minutes to go. Miles has been great tonight and stays that way. Another big shot for Miles, who has 18.
That's big time right there, because that was very well defended by Baylor and Medford on the drive. And this is big, because it's down to 8. Shot clock going down. Medford cuts him off, just contests. And sometimes you just got to hand it to a guy. And Miles, the sophomore, along with Carter, you saw it last year in that tandem. They were freshmen, guys that were not scared to try to go make plays in big moments, and that's continued into this season.
2 shots for Lester Medford. '18 tonight, almost has doubled his season average. Guy who started all 35 games as a true freshman last year, averaged 7 points a year ago as a freshman, playing about 20 minutes a game.
Great production. Those 18 points are on 8 field goal attempts. He's hit the 4 threes. He's been to the line 4 times.
All right, 9-point game now with 2:16 left. Coming up after tonight's marquee matchup between Oklahoma City and Golden State on ESPN. Stick around for Sports Center at night. Bucci and Steve Levy, they have all the highlights from the NBA, NHL, updates from UFC 196, and let you know if there were any more upsets in college basketball. Sports Center at night tonight after Thunder Warriors over on ESPN, and also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. West Virginia, look at their resume right now. 7-2, a win tonight. Make them 8-2 and all alone at first in the conference. Joe Lunardi coming into today had them projected as a 4 seed.
Well, you'd have to think if they were able to continue to close out this game, the projection would jump up. You had another quality win against Baylor. 8 more games left in the Big 12 Conference. Other opportunities to bolster your resume.
Baylor's never lost here in Morgantown in 3 meetings over the last 3 years. And the foul. McClure is third. Is quickly going to put Carter at the line. Baylor's won the last 4 head-to-head meetings with West Virginia. All 3 last year. One on each team's home court, and the last one came in the Big 12 tournament. Baylor won that 80-70 in Kansas City. All 3 Baylor wins last year were by double digits over West Virginia.
And in those 3 games combined, Baylor shoots 52%. And that was their ability to attack the pressure, take advantage of numbers, and convert. And it's something they've not been able to do tonight. Baylor shooting 40%
exactly
for the game.
And only 3 of 9 3-point shooting. West Virginia 7 of 14 3-pointers tonight. Well, Maston's come off the bench and contributed with 8 points. Maybe he should have played a few extra minutes early in the game, the way he's going right now. Under 2 minutes to go.
And West Virginia, no hurry here.
Loose, out of bounds. Whose ball? Staying with West Virginia.
You know what Baylor has to do, Mark, you have to be disciplined right here. 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
All right, they can check the monitor under 2 minutes to go here. And that's what the officials are going to do. That's off Maston.
That's correct.
So the initial call looks like the right one, that it should stay with West Virginia.
Yeah, easy one to go right there. They've got to defend right here without fouling and not gamble. You can't go for anything unless you know you're going to get the basketball.
So 6 seconds left on the shot clock as West Virginia's Adrian will inbound.
And on the catch, you've got to understand as a defender, most likely West Virginia is going to look to go hard to the basket.
Williams tries. Good defensive play there, though, by Motley. Baylor in a hurry. Down 9. Medford out of control with the blocking foul on Adrian.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it. Some crowds never do, but I think there's no doubt that's the correct call. And again, Medford's speed. Nathan Adrian trying to get over in position. He's going to be late.
He's moving.
Yeah. And no question there. But that's what you have to do. Medford, smart play. You got to drive it to the rim.
Baylor tonight 16 of 25 from the line, so they're at 64%, a 73% free throw percentage for the team coming in on the year.
And when you have struggled to get yourself back in position, I mean, those misses are just so much more magnified.
That one true.
And how many of those have been front ends of 1-and-1?
A couple. Minute 27 to play. 8-point game. Baylor kicking up the pressure full court. Over the top. Exclamation point, Jayshawn Page.
And a smart play, because as Page came up, Motley followed him.
Wainwright at 3. Timeout Baylor with 1:03 left. Well, while we have a moment, with 1:03 to play here in Morgantown, let's send it to the studio and Chris Hassel.
Mark, Brandon, they are underway in Normal, Illinois. Wichita State trying to stay perfect in MVC play, up 6-0. It's over on ESPN News. As soon as you guys are done in Morgantown, we'll have Wichita State, Illinois State, right here on ESPN2.
Chris, look forward to that with 63 seconds left here in Morgantown. A win for West Virginia. They would be all alone in first place in the Big 12. They were 4-0 to start conference play this year, so they had a share of first place earlier this season. First time they've ever been in first place now in their 4th season in the Big 12, and they hang on here. They are all alone in first after number 1 Oklahoma lost earlier tonight in Manhattan, Kansas.
Well, they've got a little unfinished business right here. Baylor now out of timeouts. And what was most likely discussed, obviously what they're going to do defensively here. I still think you try to give your pressure an opportunity to get a steal, but you're also talking about certain guys catch that basketball, you may go foul.
Into Miles, trying to foul him, and McClure does so.
So Scott Drew, you don't get anything right off the initial pass and the inbounds, and he's going to the we're going to try to stretch this game out right now strategy.
Well, Miles tonight 2 of 4 from the line, but a 62% foul shooter on the season.
Dax Miles, 2 free throws.
But he has a game high 18 points. He'll step to the stripe.
Well, although West Virginia has been better here the last handful of games, they are not a great free throw shooting team at 66% on the year.
Well, with that made free throw, 14 of 21 tonight. 67% from the line in this one. Freeman goes out along with Motley. Missed the second, out of bounds to Baylor. 59 seconds left. Miles, by the way, 19 points, so that ties a season high with extra Miles. Baylor down 8, under a minute to go. Medford. They've missed some bunnies tonight. They lose this one, they're going to look back at all of them, and a number of them came in the first half and early in the second half.
Yeah, second chance opportunities off offensive rebounds. They had some drives to the rim from perimeter players. You thought that they could finish, and I agree, Mark. And then you throw in 17 of 26 from the free throw line, just 65%, and 2 or 3 of those front ends of 1-and-1s.
You said he's a little streaky. Yeah, he's hit 4 threes tonight. That doesn't mean he can't get a little grin on his face and airball a free throw every now and then.
Well, I was really alluding to the three-point shot.
Yeah. And then he swishes the next one. Back in comes Tariq Phillip, replacing Miles, who now has a season high.
Yeah, that takes nothing away of how he's played. And he has been big time here tonight.
20 points.
Miles.
Yep. three. A little long from Medford. Adrian the rebound. And Baylor going to foul or let them play it out. Now they do get the foul on Lindsay with 34 seconds to go. And the West Virginia Mountaineers, like they're going to be 8-2 and all alone atop the Big 12. As soon as we're finished here, we'll send you to Redbird Arena in Normal, Illinois for 21st ranked Wichita State and Illinois State. And this will also mark the first time Baylor has lost here in Morgantown.
West Virginia played well at both ends of the floor. Made shots like we've talked about, taking care of the basketball, moved it well. Early in the game they hit all the right spots against Baylor's zone.
Lindsay just fouled out. Packed house tonight here at the Coliseum in Morgantown. A loss for the Bears. They'll fall to 17-6 overall and 6-4 in conference play. 11-point lead for West Virginia. Three off the back rim, right out to Prince. Into the hands of Maston. Come off the bench tonight with 10 points. And they fouled with 21 seconds left.
I'll tell you something else that West Virginia has done. Prince has 10 points early in the game. It looked like he was going to pose problems once again for West Virginia. Boy, they did a great job on him defensively, not allowing him to get going. 10 points right now, 5 of 17 from the floor, 0 of 5 after that last missed three from long range.
And no points in the second half for Taurean Prince.
And all this is doing, Mark, as we sit here, it's setting the stage for Tuesday night. West Virginia will go into Allen Fieldhouse 8-2, top of the standings of the Big 12.
A place where they really felt they should have won a year ago.
2-point game.
Freeman launches. Medford a three. It's not been a great shooting night for Baylor, and that's going to do it. The West Virginia Mountaineers, all alone atop the Big 12. They go to 8-2 in conference play, and they win it tonight over Baylor, 80-69. Coming up next, Missouri Valley Conference Hoops, 21st ranked Wichita State against Illinois State. For Brendan Manzer and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. So long from Morgantown. Now let's get you to Normal, Illinois.